Hi, this is David Taub with GVWire.com, here with the renowned Temple Grandin. Temple, you're here in Fresno. What are you going to be talking about tonight?
Well, I'm going to be talking about how we can take some of these kids that have labels like autism, dyslexia, ADHD, and let's develop the thing that the kid is good at. When I was a little kid, I was really good at art. My ability in art was always encouraged. And half the cattle in the U.S., when they're handled in the processing plant, are handled in facilities I designed. And when I was a little kid, I had severe autism. And fortunately, I got into a very good early intervention program. I cannot emphasize the importance of that enough. I'm also going to be talking over at the university to the agriculture students about the work I've done on animal handling.
So what is the most important message you can give to a parent once their child's been diagnosed with autism?
The problem you got with autism, and it goes from the people at Silicon Valley to Einstein, no language till age 3, Mozart, to Thomas Edison, to somebody who never learns to speak. Because the spectrum's broad. If you got a little kid with no language, age 3, you got to start working with that kid right now. Worst thing you can do is to do nothing with that kid. You work really hard on these little kids. Some of them get fully verbal, and they're just socially awkward. Take the thing the kid is good at and build on it. Good at art, develop that. If they're good at mathematics, develop that. Take the thing they're good at. They tend to have uneven skills. Work on building the strength. Also, you can have sensory problems. You wonder why the kid is screaming when he goes into Walmart. Maybe due to sensory overload, too much loud noise.
Now, of course, you are renowned in the animal science and agricultural fields. Do you think farmers, especially here in the Fresno Central Valley, get the respect they deserve from politicians from the rest of the state?
One of the problems is farming, and the city people are getting further and further removed. Another difficulty we have today is we got young people, even in some of the rural areas, growing up where they're not doing practical things. One of the worst things that the schools have done has been taking art, music, wood shop, cooking, sewing, welding, auto shop, all of these kind of classes out. So you've got kids growing up today with no practical experience. That doesn't make for very good policy making. Gets too abstract.
Now, a lot of people learn about you through the HBO movie.
Yep.
How do you think Claire Danes did portraying you?
She did a great job. The movie showed really accurately how my visual thinking works. I really liked the fact they duplicated my projects that I built back in the 70s. My drawings were in the movie. Sensory stuff was shown accurately. I think they did a fabulous job with the movie.
Now, you definitely have a unique style. You have wonderful shirts, and where did you develop that style from?
That kind of gradually developed, and I get shirts from a lot of different places, including the Calgary, Canada airport.
You ever been to the Calgary Stampede?
Yes, I have, actually.
All right, my 8-year-old daughter, she is a big fan of yours, and she wanted me to tell you that she'd like to see you run for president. Now, I'm sure you don't have time for that, but what do you think of this year's presidential race?
No comment.
Probably the best thing.
Animal behavior books, one of my autism books. This is a book that tells about my life. I'm going to be talking a lot about, getting kids learn how to work. I think that's a real big problem. Kids today aren't getting exposed to enough things to figure out what they might want to do for a career. You got some states where I think kids in school can learn math, English, and sports, and that's about all they're going to learn. And you've taken out the career things. Because I've worked with a lot of creative millwrights on the various projects, like the plant in Fresno. Here's got my center tractor strainer system. Working on those projects, and worked with a lot of quirky kind of different kinds of guys. And some of those guys were dyslexic or ADHD. Did a job in Texas, ran into a family of dyslexic millwrights down there. And nobody's coming in to replace these people. A lot of the big factories are putting signs up saying they're looking for mechanics, they're looking for electricians, refrigeration people. Kids aren't getting introduced to skilled trades. And there's a lot of kids out there might be having trouble in school where skilled trade would be perfect. It's not for everybody, but we got a huge amount of jobs right now available for diesel mechanics. But how's a kid going to find out that he likes diesel mechanics if he never gets exposed to engines?
Yeah, that's kind of a big deal here to try to get more vocational education.
We've got to see that community colleges are doing a good job with this, but the problem is, we need to be hooking them on this earlier than college. A kid needs to find out in middle school that he thinks, building things or working on engines is fun. Get him into 4-H small engine repair. So one kid's going to love engines, another kid's going to hate them. it's important that they find out the thing that they're gonna like. Well, in the Autistic Brain book, this is where I talk about different kinds of minds. I talk about visual thinkers, math thinkers, word thinkers, different ways that people think, pattern thinking. Well, with a lot of these kids that get a label, they have uneven skills. Good at one thing, like maybe one kid's good at art, another kid's really good at math. Well, then build up his math. There's a tendency to do too much looking at the disability and not enough looking at where's the area where there's a strength, where it could turn into a career. That's the thing I'm looking at. What's been detrimental is the kids are totally getting away from hands-on things. There's a point where we need to put away some of the electronics and do hands-on things. And there's a tendency, I talked to a company that works on what's called PLC controllers that run industrial equipment. So they get young ones in and they want to do the programming, but they're not very interested in going out in the factory to where that PLC controller is attached to an actual machine. There's an interface between that computer part and the actual real world out there. That's not going to go away. Give them some choices. Okay, you could do theater, or you could do the dance class, or you could do the robotics class, or you could do show a steer at the fair. You know, give them some choices. But they got to get out of the bedroom, get out and do things. Dogs for the neighbors, helping out in the nursing home, helping out with the dogs at the Humane Society. They've got to learn how to do a job on a schedule outside the home that needs to start in middle school. And the instant they're legal, they need to go into the workforce. Have them work at Walmart or something. Got to learn working skills. When I was 13, I had a sewing job. And when I was 15, I was cleaning stalls. And when I was 16, I was doing roofing.